I see you came back from the Easter Sunday and you were all hitting up this morning. I saw you on the show and I was like, I need to come back and hold this very evening show because your performance was exceptional when we were talking about those things that you discussed earlier today.
All right, thank you very much. I mean, if it comes from you, it is a very welcome compliment. It's so good to see you. How was your Easter?
Of course, I'm very much sure. Well, today we're just going to straight to the things as we are now on a Monday, which is an Easter Monday. So on a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on your time zone. Today, first of all, we want to say happy Easter Sunday, happy Easter Monday, and welcome to a brand new month to every obedient and well-meaning Nigerian. So we greet all of you wherever you are. We believe that the Easter is going well, and of course the month is going to progressively go well. But we want to bring you some things that are happening today in the country as people are thinking that the economic hardship has receded because they don't see protests going across the country. But there is news that is coming out. People has waited long enough for these 42 metric tons of grain to be shared across Nigeria, and we're not seeing that happening. I don't know if it's happening on your side. Please, can you get back to us? Because we are aware that Dangote did across the northern states, talk about Kanu and other places. But what is happening right now, as we can see also on the screen, is that the angry youths have gone ahead with another, if you call it looting, so to speak. But I will tell you that they are looking for what to eat. The Easter season is here, and most people, especially in Kaduna State, who are doing in the Ramadan season, of course, are also very hungry, of course. They downloaded goods or food items at these very warehouses, waited enough for these very grains and food items to be shared, but it's not shared. They have also resorted to stopping trucks again on the highway and also inside of the state to do what? To carry out the actions of somebody who is seriously hungry. We are going to bring that, and we have other things that is coming up at this hour. Just like yesterday, the AY comedian also emphasized a very, very crucial fact about the reason why he supported Peter Obi at the last presidential election. Yes, you might call it AY comedy show, but at the same time, he was telling the crowd the whole truth about who Peter Obi and the person that he supported is. That will be coming at this hour. We'll not fail also to mention that the impeachment threats on Governor Fubara thickens as the House of Assembly, backed by Wike, all the way from FC, is hitting hard. I'm not the only one to talk about this. As you know, as always, the Van Dons is here in the studio.
Oh, thank you for joining us, and compliments for this of the season. By the way, it's April Fool's Day, so I guess.
Well, I don't know what the April Fool is going to be this time around, maybe what she started with earlier. But going ahead, we are going to go to the specifics. The issue of hardship is biting hard in Nigeria. And the government, whether it's from the state level, local government, or the federal government itself, all their promises, the people are getting tired. It is another word of mouth and all of that. Nothing is happening. And we can see it in the reaction of angry youths who are just not angry, but they are hungry. And Divine, you know, it's peculiar, especially coming from Kaduna State where this thing is happening. It's Ramadan season, and we know that, you know, our Muslim brothers are actually at peace at this very time. So why do you think that these people will actually, you know, move in, or how do they even know that there is such food items in these warehouses? Because they said it's not one warehouse. They went through the whole warehouses, including some supposedly the one for people that are private persons.
Oh yeah, privately owned warehouses were actually also affected by this looting. Well, it's just very sad to see because Ramadan or not, the people are hungry, right? Because after fasting, you have to break the fast, and if you're unable to get food to break the fast, you you leave them to actually, or you reduce them to actually turning themselves into looters of government property. But like you rightly said in your introduction, it's not because we've not been getting very rampant reports. It doesn't mean that hunger is still not ravaging the land. And so this is just one of the fruits of this hunger that the government of the day has refused to nip in the bud. And so it's just very sad to see. My condolences to the privately owned warehouses, allies too. But it is just a nation that we can see. A hungry man is an angry man, and that is just really what is
See, Divine, another aspect of this we need to look into is, you know, whenever there is a food item warehouse, government food item warehouse is a kind of stormed by the youths, the next thing they are going to say is that individuals were affected.
Right.
And I think that some of these individuals that were affected, because it's the same youths that offloaded these food items, that don't know where they are offloaded. There's a reasonable probability that some of these people in government will connive, offload some at certain location, then offload some that they want to sell at certain location. So it will not affect those buyers who had gone into conspiracy to buy off public food items of the government.
Well, you made a very, very salient point, because to be honest, the media reports it as you know, private-owned warehouse, but in reality, sometimes the private-owned warehouses can actually be government-owned warehouses, or rather be owned by government officials. And so the youths probably have an inkling that, you know what, this is not really just actually privately owned warehouses. These are warehouses that these government officials used to siphon these you know, food items that are meant for the populace, because I mean, some of them have personal businesses, and so when they get these grains or get these food items they're meant to distribute to their constituencies, some of them actually divert it to their personal shops. And so it could also be a situation whereby the youth actually know that these privately owned warehouses are actually owned by government officials, and so this is just them, you know, getting their league back and actually vandalizing these properties.
And again, looking at it from the perspective of the youths and the hungry nature of Nigeria, it seems like the political elite, they take pleasure from making sure that the average man in the street is totally hungry, begging, so that they will now use that as a weapon to actually strike.
Well, weaponized hunger, weaponized illiteracy, this is all, you know, what this government is actually known for. Because, I mean, if they make you hungry, that way you're at their mercy, right? And then they can just come and dangle a couple grains in your presence or in your face, and then you'll be willing to do anything. Because, I mean, you have to feed your belly, right? And so I think they weaponize this hunger, like you rightly said, because it is a tool for them to be able to wield so much political power. So they intentionally keep the populace hungry, because with a hungry population, just dangle food or give them, you know, meager stuff, just mediocre stuff, and they're going to do anything for you. So it is most definitely intentional, because I don't want to believe that this government is sincerely unable to actually nip the issue of hunger in the bud.
As can be seen even in the video that is circulating on, if you see why they were, you know, looting the truck that is packed with food items there, you can see the speed in which the trucks that were passing by that are ready to clear people off the road are passing. Because I used to say that the trucks now carrying food items are actually, should we say, endangered species or endangered trucks or something, because carrying foodstuffs now, passing major highway, and you are not on speed, I'm sorry for that foodstuff. And people are now very scared of transporting food items because of this sort of vandalism going on.
Well, these are all just really sad occurrences, to be very honest, because whether or not you're on speed, an hungry man will always find a way, right? All it will take is probably to puncture the tire of these persons. I'm not giving you guys ideas, by the way, but the point is that a hungry man will always find a way to feed, and if we're unable to nip the issue of hunger in the bud, we'll always see situations like this. Mind you, we're seeing this in Niger, we're seeing this in places like FCT, Mina, right? And it's just very, very sad to see, because the government end of the day has reduced the citizens or their citizens to beggars, to people who now scavenge for food items. And so yes, the trucks are actually endangered species now because these people are hungry and they have to figure out a way to eat. Okay,
the summary of all of this is that some residents of Kebbi State has broken into private and government-owned warehouse in Birnin Kebbi, that is the state capital, and looting hundreds of items stored in these facilities. The incident reportedly occurred on the evening of day before yesterday. This comes amid a widespread hunger and hardship in Nigeria, occasioned by the removal of the fuel subsidy and the falling of the naira. Well, I think that is it. We have to switch some other time. Very quickly, let's touch the issue about AY's proclamations in Lagos yesterday as he having the Easter concert, where he emphasized the person of His Excellency Peter Obi, on whom and why he decided to choose that person as the person whom he aligned with. Let's take a listen to what AY had to say. Very, very interesting.
Supported Peter Obi. As I'm here, I still stand before you and tell you that I do not regret supporting Peter Obi. Now when my partner started with this, they were but fire never born in my house. As I do, and somebody said not born again, amen. The decision I made was to support Peter Obi, not because I'm a politician, because I want change, but because I want Nigeria to become better. Not be say I be a politician. I know nothing about politics, but nobody advised me. Nobody. Guess what? People kept on saying to me, hey, why? Your voice must be heard. You have over 25 million followers cut across the social media strata. Your voice must be heard. Now they hear my voice. As they hear my voice, my house born. Yes, your voice must be heard. Now, he gets one person will be my role model. That time, when the guy go to talk, I go to believe, say, nothing has happened to this guy, so nothing will happen to me.
Yes, you know what struck me when I come across this very video is the emphasis, the vigor, you know, the spirit in which Haywire was actually proclaiming, and up till now, even when PO is not there, he's still maintaining and hitting his chest. There's a reason why that he supported Peter Obi.
Oh, to be very honest, every well-meaning Nigerian and every Nigerian who actually has the interest of the country at hand, actually, or rather at heart, actually supports His Excellency, because he's a man that is known to be transparent and known to, you know, be of good antecedents, to be very honest. And so we understand why it is very easy to come out and actually say, you know what, I supported His Excellency P2B and I do not regret it. Whether or not they allowed him sit on the seat is secondary. The point is that we believe in his ideologies, and then it is actually very notable that, you know, after the election, because usually people, you know, have a lot of voice during election, and if their candidate doesn't win or doesn't get to sit on the throne, or rather on the seat of presidency, they get to backtrack, right? After all, we've seen the likes of other comedians like Sheila coming out to say very questionable things just in support of the current administration. So it's actually good to know that he supported him during the election, and he's still standing to say, you know what, he supported him because he wanted a change. So
yes, for people who want a change, how many people have you come out, except the praise singers? People have you seen vocal who come out today to say that they support Chief Bola Tinubu and beat their chest to it? How many people have you seen that? And if you have seen anybody, tell me in a crowd where he will not be stoned.
I'm telling you, because right now, admitting that you actually supported this current administration is almost like saying, you know what, stone me. Like, it's like inviting a mob attack on yourself, to be very honest, because we see the hardship that is the antecedent of this government. We see their policies and all the propaganda and the lies. And to be very honest, you'll be someone who doesn't actually love yourself very much to actually go to open spaces to say, you know what, actually support this government. When the people that say it are the people that are very much out of touch with reality, and the people who have to walk around with a lot of bodyguards. Because imagine going to a random hood in the streets to actually say, you know what, I supported this APC-led government. So everybody has their political choice, but at the same time, if it is to the detriment of the common man, then we have a right to react.
Yes, and if you are watching right now and you know that reason why you supported His Excellency Peter Obi, and you can still beat your chest to say you still support Peter Obi, go to the comment section and show some love to His Excellency Peter Obi. Tell him you still support him. Just go right now. Don't fail to hit the button of like so that other people will also join to see how many we can get, as much as is we still beat our chest to say we go on with His Excellency. Of course, moving away across to another region of in Nigeria where other things are happening. Let's look at one that is happening in Kaduna State. While that is the Obasani, the present governor of Kaduna State, who is in the media space trying to narrate about debt profile of Kaduna State. Of course, he's getting wild boasts from the son of the ex-while governor, that is El-Rufai. However, why we want to bring this is that this same man, when he was a senator years back, said he should be held responsible if El-Rufai fails on this same debt profile. Let's even take a look, first of all, at the tweet that a news item that was out some years back, where he actually mentioned that he should be held responsible for this very debt that he is now talking about. So this is from a Vanguard newspaper, and if the date can be provided by this thing, we can see that what is written here: you are wholly incompetent El-Rufai son Takos Obasani and all that. Now, now I was looking at this very one that he said, the World Bank loan, hold me responsible if El-Rufai fails Kaduna State Senator Obasani. This should be dated around either 2022 or 2020. 2020. So this is the same man who said he should be held responsible. So I'm just bringing this for us to actually look at it from the perspective. When people say things, they should always continue on the same line. He doesn't need to come out to tell us about the debt profile of Kaduna State when he said he should be held responsible. He is now responsible. He should deal with it.
Well, to be honest, like you rightly said, he should deal with it. When the going was good, we actually did not hear from him. After all, he gave his own vote of confidence when this man was busy borrowing millions of dollars from the World Bank. He came out as a senator. Probably then he was lobbying for his favor, so he'll be able to succeed him. And so he came out to give a vote of confidence to say, you know what, whatever happens, hold me responsible. And so now that the going is no longer good, and probably what happens with political affiliations. They say there's no permanent friend and no permanent enemy in politics, and so we've seen that they've had their fallout, and now you're coming out to actually say, oh, he left so debt profile, he did this and he did that. But years back, when you were actually campaigning for his support, and you probably had your political ambitions to become governor, and now that you're governor, it is actually very convenient for you to come out and tell us that he left a lot of debt and you're finding it difficult to pay. Let's
even take a listen to what Governor Obasani had to say about this very debt profile carried over from El-Rufai.
The huge body of about $587 million, 85 billion naira, and 115 contractual liability, sadly inherited from the previous administration. We remain resolute in steering Kaduna State towards progress, sustainable development, We have conducted a thorough assessment of our situation and are sharpening our focus accordingly. It gladdens my heart to inform you that despite the huge inherited debt on the state, till date, we have not borrowed a single kobo. The key priority areas of our government include safety and security, housing, education, healthcare, support for micro, small, and medium enterprises. We are also prioritizing inclusive development by investing in human capital, stimulating the economy, and providing affordable houses, as well as support for our farmers, particularly smallholder farmers. Let me briefly highlight some of our ongoing initiatives for 2024.
So that is Governor Obasani, who is busy trying to push back to RFI, and as we know, years back he has said he should be held responsible. But Divine, what strikes me is that this is across board. This is more like what is happening in all the states. Why are they always raising this very debt profile when they actually supported it when the time that they probably even benefited from this very loan that we're talking about?
Well, I think it's very interesting actually. But the perspective I want to talk about is that some weeks earlier, the Agbado people had actually been, would I say, comparing His Excellency Peter Obi to El-Rufai. They said all manner of things. They said he was a scholar and he was more, academically, inclined more than His Excellency Peter Obi. It was just a lot of weird things that were being said on X, which is formerly Twitter. But it's just interesting right now because it's like His Excellency Peter Obi, as at the time he left Anambra State, he left without borrowing any money. He left without a debt profile. And so now we're seeing what the actual comparison is, because if we're actually to go by that comparison, then we can see the governor who actually left money for his people, left a lot in their foreign reserve, left a lot when it comes to investments. But this one inherited debts. The person after P2B did not inherit debts, but that's really just beside the point. But I think right now coming out to say this is really just hypocrisy, because like you rightly said, he was a senator under his government and he probably ate his share of this national cake. So coming out now to act like he did not know all this while that there was a debt profile.
Yeah, what happens in Nigeria and why P2B is different, and he will ask you to go and verify, is very, very certain. Is because P2B, while he was living, everybody is aware, left money in billions in naira and dollar and made sure that every money was accounted for. But that is not what is seen today. What is seen today is that every governor that wants to leave, or it's time for them to leave, actually empties the state treasury. That is what they do across board. And that's why His Excellency P2B is purely different. Now, moving forward, and finally, I want to bring you what is actually happening in Rivers State. Is the question we should be asking ourselves. Yes, they agreed to Chief Bola Tinubu's resolution on Rivers State. Why is the same house, or illegitimate House of Assembly, still threatening to impeach Governor Fubara? Why is Rivers State, why is it that Wike cannot allow Rivers State to actually have their peace? Why? People in Rivers have the way. Just recently, the House of Assembly members, they all convened and gave a very long press statement. And in this very press, not just a press statement, but press briefing, they said a whole lot of things, but what is really much interesting is that they are still going ahead with their threat to impeach Fubara. Now, does that mean that Chief Bola Tinubu's mediation has went out? And again, let me ask, these people that parade themselves as the legitimate House of Assembly members and still pass law, is it in this country when they say that they are bad or they are to stop from taking that war? It's only in this country that you see those things happening. Which party do they actually belong to? They say to have defected from the, is it from the PDP, to the APC? And have they been accepted? Are they card-carrying members of the APC? And have they done the due diligence? What is happening in Nigeria? Why are these tiers of government being lawless? And these are the people who are supposed to make laws. Let's even take a listen to how he said that they are going to moving ahead with this impeachment against Governor Fubara. Let's take a listen before we come back.
This is a press conference by the 10th River State House of Assembly. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you all for finding time for this press conference, which is intended to address some issues that have arisen in the last few months, so we can also set the record straight where necessary. We begin by announcing to you that sponsored attacks on the House of Assembly of River State has failed woefully. Enemies of the people and those who cannot withstand the principles of the rule of law, as well as checks and balances in our nascent democracy in their frustration, started by burning and later demolition of the Hallowed Chamber. Their plan is to eliminate the legislature that is pushing for independence granted her by the Constitution, since they cannot exercise undue control over her. We survived these attacks. Their new strategy is to use another arm of government, lobbies, attack dogs, the mainstream and social media to bring the House to disrepute and consummate their agenda. The point we are making is the last time the House of Assembly came up with an impeachment notice, a lot of them said, oh, he didn't do anything. They've not told us what he did. Now we are telling them. Those who are holding press conferences, we are telling them, they are not addressing it. They are running away from the issues. All they do is attack the FCT minister. FCT minister is in Abuja, performing fabulously well. Leave him alone. Focus on the man who is refusing to follow the law. They don't want to address that part. So we have been bringing these things to the fore. To those who are bishops, the clergy, traditional rulers, we have been calling on them. Go and talk to the governor to obey the law. Obey the laws of River State. That's where we are.
Looking at this thing from the perspective of somebody who is an onlooker outside of the state as we state, yes, there is no peace. But this threat of always coming up, even when Chief Bola Tinubu had addressed and they said that they are withdrawn their suit against this impeachment, but it seems that this is a renewed threat to Governor Fubara for impeachment.
Oh, to be honest, at the risk of actually saying that this matter is actually getting a bit stale, because I actually understand whatever it is that they said is their issue. But to be very honest, they should let this man actually do something with the Rivers people and with this mandate that he has gotten. The other day we had the walk for Sim, right, where over 100 women came out in their hundreds to actually march for him, saying that he is their chosen candidate and all of that. I actually don't get the point of all this you know, would I say victimization? Just let the man walk, right? And so at the end of the day, whatever grievances that you guys have can be talked, can be had, like you could have it as a conversation. The interest of Rivers people is what matters. All this partisan politics and politics of who succeeded who and who you know, was the predecessor is actually very unprogressive in the grand scheme of things, because Rivers people deserve to experience governance without all this back and forth that is going on.
Yeah, so the Rivers people deserve more, but we continue to follow up with this very particular report that is coming out from Rivers State to see how it ends. We pray that it ends well for Rivers State, but you will agree with me that what Wike is doing or instigating in Rivers State is actually out of hand, and his master, Chief Bola Tinubu, should caution him. And we got even reports coming out from the FCT major place that is demolishing estates, especially that of Okachukwu and Nicholas, so to speak. And that very estate, as we heard, is because it has to deal with an Igbo man, and I think they said when he get to that very place, he said all these places is what you give to an Igbo man and all of that. Is Wike not even an Igbo man? Let's even be honest about this whole thing. But at the same time, Wike should really be careful, because he's toying with thousands to millions of people in Rivers State and across Nigeria who are not happy with him. He's already having issues with the orderlies. He's going to fall out with them. He's definitely not going to stay forever in the FCT. He's going to have a fallout, and then things will crumble for him. And we know, just like when Rotimi Amaechi was going around, pulling his weight and all of it. Where is he today? Where is he? Yes, Rotimi Amaechi, where is he? But now, we don't hear about him again. So is Wike also going to go out of this very limelight? His structures in Rivers State is going to collapse as soon as possible. Trust that this is going to happen. And that is as much as we are going to have this evening, because our time, don't they give us signal, and the signal where they give us, maybe pack our things, come out for studio. But before I go come out, and all of us where they here, I don't go fail to bring to our attention, say last week we held a meeting. That very meeting is coming together of the formation of the Obidient Family Cooperative Society. This very cooperative society that we are asking every Obidient in their respective local government to go and register. What that thing is moving for, it is towards the structure that PO and every other person has been advocating. It's not for one person to probably be in Abuja and register all the obedience and say he is the one that is in charge of all obedience. It wouldn't work like that. The structure we are talking about is a structure where the people are in the grassroots owns their own place and they understand what happens there. Take for instance what happened in Enugu State, where the lawmakers defected from the Labour Party and they went to PDP, because that is where their stomach infrastructure is going to be helped. However, if we had such Obidient Family Cooperative Society in Enugu State, in the grassroots of those local governments and their constituents, what will happen is not an impeachment like other people will say. It's a recall. A recall. They will just write to the National Assembly, all the whole people will append their signatures to that place, and they will be recalled for not doing the work that they have sent them out to do. Because we, the Obidient, labored on the rain, in the sun, to make sure that that mandate that they have were given to them. Not, they can't dream of it, neither can they smell it in that PDP platform. However, let me not jump into that very story, as I just simply want to tell you that the registration of the cooperative Obidient Family Cooperative Society, a multi-purpose platform where welfare and every other things will be put together in different local governments, and we can now give support to the Obedience and sell their products also from the Obidient Family TV, reach out and reconnect with each other and be stronger as we wait to show them who we are in 2027. Thank you until tomorrow when we meet again. Bye for now.
A developer of a multi-billion naira property near Asokoro has called on President Bola Tinubu's intervention following its demolition by the FCT administration. The property, which sits on a 214-hectare plot, was said to have been pulled down without any order of revocation issued by the authorities of the FCT. It marks the first major demolition by the Nyesom Wike administration.
On Wednesday morning, scores of armed security operatives, including soldiers, policemen, and civil defense, surround the 214-hectare property near Sokoro, where multiple luxury duplexes are being developed. After about 6 hours, the buildings, some of which had got to lintel level, and the fence are all pulled down and left in a heap of rubble. The property is owned by one of the foremost private developers in Abuja, Praco Nigeria Limited, led by Linus and Nicholas Ukachukwu. Ukachukwu claims the demolition was done in bad faith.
We can call for a meeting over the land. We went with our documents. After I see what we have with our lawyer and the other people's other Sunrise, which they get part of that land, and we can say that there is nothing on this, that the court should take effect after going around the land. His normal ways of behavior. He started shouting, how would they take all this land and give to Igbo man?
According to him, all the legal title to the property had been obtained, including 2 ministerial approvals, the latest from the erstwhile FCT Minister Bello Muhammad.
He went through all due process, including ministerial approval. We have full final title, certificate, and offer.
A certificate of occupancy?
Yes, offer to certificate of occupancy.
Most alarming, according to him, is that there was no order revoking his rights to the property before the demolition took place.
As I'm talking to you now, we are not receiving any documents. All these things, it's only what we saw, the demolition. The title has not been revoked, we are not been served.
Ukachukwu also insists the action of the Minister of the FCT runs contrary to 2 pending court orders restraining any action by the FCT on the plot of land.
2 separate courts issued different court order restraining him from tampering or doing anything in those property. But all of a sudden today, we can move all the caterpillars in Abuja and went and started pulling those properties that we have invested billions into down.
He wants President Tinubu to wade into the matter to protect the rights of genuine investors and businessmen.
Calling Mr. President, who I know that has nothing to do with the tribe, to call on the bring either he remove this man.